Hi Internet, it's Jess from Just Like Stuff, and I'm here with my June favorites. It has flown by super quick. I didn't have a lot of time to think about what my favorite stuff was, so there's not a lot. But what I did choose, I like a lot. One of the things that kicked off June in an awesome way was a First Friday event up by where we live. First Friday here is where a bunch of food trucks get together and you get to have delicious food while standing outside. It kind of reminded me that summer is here. I enjoy summer here in Southern California because there's a lot of outdoor events. But what I don't like about California summers is they're quite warm. But when we went to this First Friday thing, it was pretty overcast, and that was awesome. That was definitely one of my favorites of the month. Kind of tailing off of that too, there was a band there, pretty good band. I don't know what their name was, but they were playing covers, and they were playing covers of Joy Division. Joy Division was one of my favorite bands, like 10 years ago. It kind of reminded me how much I love them. And Joy Division, if you don't know, is a atmospheric post-punk band from the 80s. They came out of Manchester. Really good band, especially if you're kind of into a dancing by yourself, depressed mood. Super good. So I've been listening to a lot of Joy Division. I will link below Love Will Tear Us Apart, which is a choice jam. Highly recommend that. There are two documentaries that are on my favorites this month. One is a documentary, both can be found on Netflix. One documentary is called Spinning Plates. It is about the restaurant industry. It follows 3 restaurants, very high-end, like 3 Michelin star fancy pants restaurant in Chicago, a country kitchen in a very small town in Iowa, and a Mexican restaurant in Tucson that's kind of struggling. The film is very well edited. It's really compelling stuff. I even had Mr. Jess watch it, and he liked it. And he's not one to like documentaries about people. He's more of a like ninja, blow stuff up, action kind of guy, and he thought it was compelling. So that's a favorite for me and Mr. Jess. Another documentary that I watched, I was happy that came onto Netflix and I watched it, was a documentary by Sarah Pauly, who did another one of my favorite films called Take This, Waltz. I've watched that film like 10 times, cannot get over it. But her new doc, which was nominated for a Oscar, is called The Stories We Tell. It's obviously a very personal film for her. It's about her mother and kind of the story of how she came about. And it's about the stories we tell about events, and she talks to everyone in her family, and you get everyone's idea of what happened and how they tell the story, and that's very interesting. And even the documentary style that she chose was her way of telling the story, and it's just a very complex, emotional documentary that I highly recommend. It's also very easy to watch, goes by very quickly, and it really makes you think about the stories we tell about our own families and the medium in which we tell those stories. Mr. Jess has been recommending I play League of Legends, and it has made its way this month to my favorites list. He kind of has been cajoling me to play it. He is an avid player of League of Legends. He's been playing it for a few years now, and I've watched it, and we've even watched a couple, like I've seen through his shoulder some like professional matches, and I was like, I don't know about that. But he got me to play it, and I've been playing against bots this whole month, and I've been having a really, really good time. Surprising to me, not surprising to the millions of people who play LOL, but I'm really happy to be playing it. I do think, though, that I'm going to be playing against bots for the foreseeable future, because I don't want 12-year-olds to yell at me about how terrible I am at LOLing. A newer podcast to me that I've really been enjoying this month is Rupaul Walks the Tea. I'm a huge fan of Rupaul. It only comes out like once, or I think there's only been 6 episodes so far, but he has such a soothing vibe to him, and I love his perspective on the world. I really am enjoying that. When I walk my dogs, it's been one of the things I listen to right away when there's a new episode out. Highly recommend that. Rupaul Walks the Tea. The biggest favorite this month was my trip to Seattle. I loved it out there. Love, capital L, loved it. So beautiful, so green, delicious food. I'll link below my videos I put up of our antics up there. I just loved it so much. Super hug to Seattle. So those were some of my June favorites. I'm really looking forward to some of my summer favorites coming up. I hope this summer is super happy for me and for you. Thanks for watching. Bye, Internet.